We've got some breaking news coming into us regarding the operation, Turkey's military operation in northeastern Syria. One of the big concerns, of course, of many countries watching and indeed criticizing Turkey's operation was that it might endanger the prisons where the YPG terror group has been holding Daesh terrorists. Well, Recep Tayyip Erdogan has now said that out of the 700 Daesh prisoners released by the YPG over the past 10 days, 100 have been captured by Turkey's military. Let's go to our Turkey analyst again and speak to Yusuf Erim in Ankara. 100 out of 700 is a start, I suppose, but do we know where these Daesh terrorists have now been taken?
We don't know exactly where they've been taken, at least not yet, but I'm assuming it's in the safe zone area where Turkey's operating. And just to update with those numbers, it's 700 Daesh prisoners that have escaped. It's 195 that have been taken into custody now by Turkish troops or the Turkey's local partner, the Syrian National Army. And there's still about 500 at large that Turkey's searching for. What we do know is that these Daesh prisoners who have been caught are in Turkish jails right now, in Turkish custody, and Turkey has assumed responsibility for them. Now, Daesh has been a big problem in the area. The SDF has not been able to fully control Daesh. We know that there was big problems at the big prison camps in the safe zone area before Turkey entered, but now Turkey's assuming the responsibility for Daesh prisoners in the safe zone area, and it'll be a top priority of not Operation Peace Spring anymore, but the safe zone. It will be a top priority to make sure there is no Daesh revival. There were assurances given to President Trump in the past regarding any type of presence of Daesh, that any revival would be put down by Turkey in that area. And we also know that Turkey's been extremely tough on Daesh in the past. Let's remember Operation Euphrates Shield back in 2016 when Turkey launched its first military incursion into Syria, into the Jarablus al-Bab and Azaz areas, Daesh strongholds, breaking the back of the terrorist organization in the north and neutralizing over 3,000 terrorists back almost 3 years ago now.
Yusuf, US President Donald Trump had said a few days ago that the YPG might be releasing Daesh prisoners just to get the Americans back involved in the conflict. And then there was a statement from a spokesperson from the Turkish Foreign Ministry which laid out a few points about how Turkey's military would deal with any Daesh prisoners that they found. One of the most important points in that statement was that they will be kept in Syria. I mean, what are the difficulties that are presented here in terms of the responsibilities of Turkey's military finding these fighters and then putting them in custody in another country? Turkey can't then naturally be sure that they're going to be safeguarded there inside those facilities. It's not their country.
Well, there's a lot of problems with the way Daesh prisoners are held in the custody and the extradition of Daesh prisoners back to their home countries. We're seeing a lot of European countries not accepting to have these Daesh prisoners extradited, even though they're citizens of these home countries, mainly in Europe. There's a lot of Daesh fighters from France and Germany, and we've heard statements where also the UK, where statements where they're not accepting extradition. And this is something that Turkey is pressing these countries to do and take responsibility for their own homegrown terrorists. And Turkey also has many Daesh prisoners in custody inside Turkey as well that they caught during transit over the last 4 or 5 years that are still in jail. And Turkey's trying to send these people back to their countries as well. Now, inside Syria, obviously the facilities or lack thereof to keep so many prisoners in custody is very, very hard. And there's no rehabilitation process that was put in place earlier. So you have these families, these children, these top-level Daesh fighters in the area, and it's quite a chaos. And since Operation Peace Spring began, especially the 7 days of the operation, there was many reports that the YPG was releasing these prisoners, not only just to keep the U.S. involved in northeast Syria, but to also cause chaos in the area, and the hopes that these Daesh prisoners would open up a second front or distract the Turkish military. But Turkey's more than capable of holding two fronts against two separate terrorist organizations if the need had arose. But obviously we have now this safe zone deal with the United States, so there is this pause period now where Turkey's monitoring the YPG's exit out of the area, but now it'll also be monitoring Daesh activity inside the safe zone as well.
Okay, Yusuf, for the moment, thank you very much indeed.